are going to be. Hey, I think we're live.
Hey.
I think we're live. It looks like it says. Looks like we're live. I hear things chiming. Hi, I'm Mike Dixon, better known as Joker Tech, and we are live. I guess I'm not getting it here. I don't know why I'm not getting it on my phone. Come on, man, wake up. So, how's everybody doing? I'll just go with the presumption that we're live right now.
Yeah, I'm not getting it on my phone either yet. Oh, wait, I just got a notification that says,
Yeah.
there we are. There we are. It's just on delay.
Let me try this again. Let me see.
And mine just popped on my phone, too.
Did it?
Yeah.
Are we? Oh, yeah, we're live. Okay, there we go. Let me turn down my. I got that.
At least you folks know we're not dead. That's good.
Yeah, we're not dead. Yeah. Yeah, see, I should have done the intro. I had an intro I wanted to do. I forgot all about that. Damn it! I didn't see. So nothing like pen and paper. You know what I mean? So
I don't do pen and paper. That is so old, folks.
I know.
I can't do pen and paper.
What's your pen and paper going to do on this stream?
I got pen and paper here to know certain things on here, certain timestamps for what we're going to do.
People around you, and you need pen and paper. I don't understand that.
Timestamps?
Yeah, well, on the videos that I'm going to play. See, so anyway, how you all doing? I know we were just talking in the back room, but how everybody had a great Thanksgiving. I hope the audience here had a great Thanksgiving.
Eleanor and I had a great Thanksgiving.
Ooh, boy.
Yeah, I know you were shooting pictures of your food you were eating there. It looked pretty good there, George.
Well, that's our favorite restaurant. That's why we went.
Okay, all right, cool. Yeah, that's right. Okay, here we go. That's right. I can do this.
Even Shane agrees with me. Thank you, Shane.
Look. Let me tell you. 30 years in the auto part business, with auto part and forklift business, you still write down your orders. You still write down.
You don't have any kind of computer.
You don't need to just have a habit, okay? Look,
you don't need a habit. You're not a nun.
God. All right, let's get going here. We've got a lot to cover tonight.
Guys, side chat, by the way.
What do you sidetrack on what? Hello, Mike. I want to say first off, real quick, everybody that's here. It was great. I put the link in a few days ago, and it was like a battle royale. Who's first?
Six was first, wasn't he?
Max. Okay. I had to give first. Max was really in the room first. Then he was gone, and then I saw 6, and I saw Nigel, and there were all kinds of conversations. It was pretty cool to open up the room early. So, hey, Eleanor, how you doing? Good to see you there. I just saw Mike West. Mike West, thank you very much for joining us. Sean, thank you. Sean, thank you. Didn't you take your old tablet?
And then you can get rid of the paper.
I think he means like stone and tablet. Okay, so real quick, I know I got some videos we're gonna play, and they're like a comparison. We're going to cover some. You know what, George? And just a little preview to everybody out there. George, how long have we been doing, especially you, Friday Night Tech Talk? Do you know how long we've been doing this?
Friday Night Tech Talk, I think about 2.5 years ago.
Very good, yes. So I'm going to bring out maybe an old video from back then, okay. and some of the subject matter and just a little reminiscent. So, yeah.
Oh, and by the way, as always, everybody, if you go to mobilegeezer.wordpress.com, the notes are the first story on there.
Yeah. So, yeah. You got that WordPress thing down, like Pat.
It's not that hard to make a website with just the notes, but it takes me about a half an hour and I'm done. The hardest part is going to find the pictures, but of course, the first picture there to you tonight is Joker Tech.
Well, cool. Thank you. So the first thing I have here is if you could ask 2 questions to a diehard Android user, and what this could be. This could be anything about the platform, even if it deals with iPhone. What would the 2 questions be? Now, I was, I'm curious first off what your questions are before we move on.
Shouldn't you go first?
Well, all right. Yeah. Then if I go first, if I'm going to go first, all right. Sure. Here we go. Here's the first we're going to ask you. Hello, everybody.
Hello,
Surprise
everybody.
me.
Surprise.
Guys.
Josh, you gotta turn down the volume. Gotta mute it.
We have a new challenger. What's up?
Yes, we do. Folks, I wanted to bring well, he's known on Twitter as Days One, but oh shoot, is your mic muted? Why is your mic muted? Okay, now you're not muted. Why do I hear it back?
Yeah, please do
Is this
Josh,
what you guys hear when I don't put in my AirPods?
Yes.
Josh?
Yes, we have background.
Yes, you got running. Mute all your volume. You know what? Normally that's what we have.
He needs a mic.
Oh, he could. I think he put an earphone.
Yeah, headphones.
How's it sounding?
Okay.
I can
I have my AirPods.
Hold on.
Sorry, man. I completely forgot that.
Oh, it's for those that are wondering.
Testing, everything was fine.
For those that are wondering, background, that's 1904 days before the
I told Toronto.
We have in background still?
Hello?
Hello?
Yep. Headphones. Sorry, man.
It's a very heady problem. Are we getting ahead of us?
Yeah, go, George. Keep on bringing the fun.
I can do head stuff all day.
Meanwhile, Teddy's his ice cream.
I can go as far back as Matt's headroom. That tickled me to death.
If I kill
I can't find the chat.
Hello? Oh, we lost him.
He just, I guess he left the studio, I would think.
Yeah, no, he's gone. Yeah, he's gone. Sorry about that. First off, his name's not Days. Why don't I show a microphone?
Oh, there's the chat. My light was blocking it.
So this is the one time I couldn't tell you lighten up, Ted. Okay.
You see his little cheat there? He's got a plastic bag over the light.
Hey, I have cheat stuff here too. I just don't show it to you guys.
They choose. Oh, Josh, can you hear me? We can't hear you probably because it says you're muted. Okay. But now we got the
Susie on the Darn it. Yeah, of course, as soon as he came in and I saw his name, my mind okay, that's not good.
There we go. I muted him.
Okay. We need a solution.
I know. I don't know what to do. Hold on. Let me try this again. Josh? Why am I hearing?
Yeah, it's definitely from his mic. So as soon as you move, it stopped.
Yeah, I know, because I got to mute his mic, and then now he's frozen all of a sudden. We had a great connection. We had great audio. Darn it. This is killing me. All right.
Yo, Serrano, how are you, brother?
So anyway, while we're working on this, George, what would be the question to Josh?
You're supposed to go first.
I'm not going to go first because I'm frustrated right now.
I guess my first question to a diehard Android user would be, what do you find so great about Android over Apple? That would be question number one.
He had an iPhone he was trying out too. So
okay.
let's see. He's all frozen on us. I think he's gone.
He's not going yet, but he's definitely frozen. Then, of course, my second question would depend on his answer to that question.
Well, yeah.
So
He's surprised.
if he gave you the standard, you can just do more and it's much more versatile.
Mm-hmm.
My second question would be, have you tried iPhone lately? Because it's gotten much more versatile than it was, say, 6 months ago or a year ago.
He started off. He has a YouTube channel, but he's. Oh wait a minute! Now he's back. Let's see what happens.
Okay.
Hello. Now it shows he's back. I let him in.
Okay. And we're not echoing yet.
No.
Is that a big thing for Black Lives Matter? Or what?
Yeah. Yeah. Really.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's weird. This is weird.
Ted, don't laugh with your mouth full.
Yeah.
Your mouth is never full, really, when you're eating ice cream.
Oh yeah, you got a
I'm
point.
gonna have to kick him out. I'm gonna kick him out of the studio. Josh. Kick these. No.
There he is.
All right. Now
Yeah, but we got an echo.
He's got
It's better,
something
but we
in.
still have an echo.
we still got an echo.
But it's not
You
as
have
bad as
inspired-
before.
It's not as loud as
How come we wait a minute? If you got the earpods, we don't get an echo from you, Ted.
Because they're AirPods on a MacBook.
Oh.
It just works.
There you go.
Don't question it.
That's what I always told people about iPhones.
Don't question it. It just works.
All right, Josh, I'm going to take you out, Josh. That didn't sound good. I'm going to take you out. Yeah. All right.
Why don't you try some other, the way you can move us around a little bit? This one
Can I
looks,
move you around?
yeah, you can click it and
Oh, yeah, down here, right? There we go.
That's better, yeah.
Thank you.
It's the other way, we just look so squeezed together.
Yeah, you're right. It looks much better. Thank you.
Now I can see both you guys in all your beauty.
I'm relying on George for his talent on that, because I was like, oh yeah, that's right.
You see what Elmo put about my puns? Elmo's heard 34 years of my puns, so.
Here we go. Everybody needed to know what Ted was eating there.
There you go.
How can I
Elmo
get?
used to ask me why I used the same puns year after year, and I always said these are the classics.
Oh. Hi, Crisco 2010.
Oh, Crisco's here. How you doing?
Hello there. Sorry for
Crisco. I'm surprised George has never put in a Crisco pun. That's
Well, Chris, the Crisco pun I would go would be with the Crisco shortening oil, and this would go back to the 50s and 60s before you guys were even born. You know?
All right, let me try and get him on here and tell him.
Uh,
I guess George is trying to say that pan would go flying.
Oh, very good, Ted. Oh, Ted's got it down now. Now you're frying it now, brother.
Let's see. Happy Black Friday. Get any good tech deals. Yeah, there's the Walmart deal for AirPod Pros for $170. Mm-hmm.
And Walmart has a really good deal on the Chromebook too.
And if Days.
His name is Josh.
Okay, is it echoing
Days
still?
And wait a minute, we're getting better.
It's getting better. It gets a little better each time you come back.
Whatever it is, I see. I don't hear me.
I think I covered up the mic.
Okay.
That's a lot better.
Yeah, I'm covering up the bottom mic.
Okay.
Really?
Sounds excellent, actually. Yeah.
Okay.
Gee, I can still see you. Mikey said he covered you up. Oh.
I see, Josh. See the abuse you're going to take right now. Okay. Woo. All right.
Okay.
So I guess you're not getting good coverage. Oh.
Everybody, this is Josh. Josh, this is Ted and George.
Hey,
And
Josh.
How's it going,
Hey,
guys?
Josh.
How's it going?
Bill couldn't make it tonight, but there we go. I'm glad you're here.
I can remember Josh's name. We have a grandson named Josh.
And I have to ask, we have 2 Texans. Josh,
We got 2 Jersey guys and 2 Texans.
right? There you go. There you go. And Ted, you're in Texas too, right?
Yes.
Dallas.
Okay.
Yes.
Dang, I'm down over here in New Braunfels by San Antonio.
And me being the Jersey guy in Tennessee, I'm kind of right in the middle of you guys.
Yeah, you are. Yes, you are. So George said is what precipitated you coming on. So, well, not I didn't give you any warning. I'm sorry, but coming on, he says, "Well, you asked the first question, and my first question to you, Josh, is coming from. We're going to write into this, okay? By the way,
Okay.
you surprised me when you are switched to Samsung, and you and I were
From what? An iPhone?
From Pixels?
from Pixels and an iPhone. You did have an iPhone, did
Yeah,
you
an
not?
iPhone, yes. Yeah, I had the iPhone.
But the iPhone was more of an experiment,
You
was it
guys
not?
got me covered. You said Samsung. You said iPhone. You said
I have-
Pixel.
And I had OnePlus too.
Okay, there you
And
go.
the Essential.
But I'm the only one that has this.
No.
Still got it.
Correction. You're the only one that would want to have that.
That's true. I love this thing.
So, Josh, tell us what precipitated you switching. As I shouldn't say switching, but it is a switch going to Samsung. What made you want to go to a feature-rich, an operating?
You said it
Yeah.
right. Feature rich is it.
Yeah, feature rich.
Well, go ahead. What do you got?
For the longest time, I was always like Nexus, Pixel, something very simple. Even I use custom ROMs. It was my favorite custom ROM was like the Pixel experience, always simple. Lately, the reason why I kept the Pixel for so long and stayed with the Pixel line for so long was the cameras. That was like the main point for staying with Pixel was the
You
camera.
can't argue that point at all. No.
Yeah. Lately, when it came to Samsung, I had the Samsung S20, but I also kept the Pixel. I had the OnePlus, but I always kept the Pixel. Lately, I've been taking a lot of pictures with the Samsung. Well, I used the S20 and then S20 Plus, and now I got the Note 20. And the pictures are just great. And then the video on it is just really amazing on the Note 20 Ultra. So the Pixel online, I don't think can keep up with the Note 20 Ultra when it comes to video.
Now, how do you think that the video compares with the iPhone? Because I think that has the best video of any phone.
Now, when I recently did a tweet on that, and I posted a video comparing the iPhone 12 versus the Samsung S20 Plus.
Okay.
And a lot of things that people said was the iPhone looked warm.
Okay.
It looked real warm, real
And
yellowish.
Will says the same thing.
Yeah, it looked real warm, real yellowish. When I did a round, I was at a hotel and I did a round in the lobby, and while I was in the lobby, my end of the video was a Christmas tree, and in that Christmas tree, you can see very detailed with the S20 Plus, but with the iPhone 12, it kind of like wasn't as sharp.
Okay. Gotcha.
When it came to that Christmas tree, as far as seeing the very detail of the Christmas tree.
Okay.
I posted another video yesterday with some other guys talking about the iPhone 12 versus the Note 20 Ultra. And the video that I posted, you can, even though the iPhone 12 has the Dolby Vision, which is like great.
Right.
When I was panning around looking at the scenery and then it was a video of dogs. The grass kept changing colors. It went from a yellowish color to a greenish color to back to a yellowish color, depending on the background, like say the fence that I had and the wall that was in the scene. It kept changing the color of the grass. Yeah. And when I viewed the sky, you could see where they started changing the colors, like trying to adjust the color due to the dynamic. I mean, the dynamics of it is gonna adjust, like the way they said, the Dolby Vision adjusts to the scene. So when you try adjusting between the actual
I think that's user error.
The user error?
Yeah, if you don't want it to adjust, you just lock the exposure, no? And it'll stop metering.
I didn't try to lock that exposure.
Ted's kind of the camera expert among us, that's for sure.
Yeah, I didn't use any what do you call it? I didn't try to lock any exposure, and I did the same thing with the Note 20. Like both of them were just point and shoot, and the Note 20 kept the same consistency with both of them were set to 4K 60. The consistency between the colors stayed with the Note 20 versus the iPhone that kept changing the colors of the grass as I was panning through everything.
Yeah, Brian agrees with you, Josh.
Aggressive
these
lighting.
iPhones have lighting adjustments.
Yeah, the lighting adjustment was, and I have the video. Like I have the two videos to compare. I haven't put them together so you can compare them side by side. But I posted them both separately, and I posted with the source link so that Twitter didn't compress it all crazy, and you see like a distorted image. Because I posted a video last time, and somebody said like it looks a little bit blockier. It looks like it's trying to. It looks digital. So I gave them the source link, and the source link, of course, is clear because it came straight from the cloud and actual.
And it's better. Yeah. It's better quality than Twitter because they compress everything.
Yeah, and you can download the video from the cloud, so you can actually see it directly on your phone, versus the way Twitter does stuff with their compression.
Before we go on, and I didn't think about this, and I apologize, Josh. Care to give some of your background of what you've been doing with smartphones and all?
And I just subscribed to you, by the way.
George just subscribed to you. What turns you on to? You just happened to discover one day that you can put ROMs on Android phones. Is that
that was actually an accidental find too? It started off in 2009. I had the Huawei Ascend M860. It had the little rolling ball for the center, the two buttons on the side, and then it had the little rolling ball in the middle. I was actually new to Android, so I looked up like customizing Android, just a simple how do people customize their Android. And I came across this one channel. The guy was actually using an app called Z4 Root to grain root and then modify the system. And I was like, wow, that's interesting. That's like a different type of customization. I wonder if I could do that. So I started getting into the modding, and then first ROM was CyanogenMod. So after that, it was like, why am I gonna use what the OEM tells me to use? Why am I gonna use their software? Why am I gonna use their features when I can import my features through a custom ROM? And that's when I started using custom ROMs, and that was like in 2009, 2010.
That's a while.
So I've been doing that ever since then, and I've gone from Nexus to Motos was my longest line. I had the Moto 1, 2, and 3, and it was just nothing but mods on that. And then I got the Moto 6, and then the Nexus phones, the Pixel phones, and just modding OnePlus phones, modded those. My whole channel is nothing but modding for the most part. So.
Yeah, I know. So that's where I discovered you between Twitter and YouTube.
So we could say he has a very modern channel.
Okay.
Wait a minute. He didn't click off, George. He's sticking around. He's a tough guy. I gotta say that. So is it true that you can't mod a Samsung device?
The US Snapdragon variants, their bootloaders are locked.
Okay. And do you find
when did that happen?
Yeah,
when did that start happening?
That was a couple of years ago. They started locking down the bootloaders.
Mm-hmm.
They're using, I think, on some of them they were able to use like Bootstrap, where you can dual boot a custom ROM onto it, but it's like very iffy because it can literally brick the device.
So, I did not know about that.
See, and Google's supposed to be working on, well, Samsung's a little behind. They're not on the AB partition yet, but Google's working on Samsung getting on board with that AB partition. And then with the whole, the Android 11 and up, or actually Android 12 now, will be able to boot GSI from an SD card and run GSI from an SD card or an internal storage on a separate partition.
All right, for us nerds, what's a GSI?
Generic system image.
Oh, okay.
It allows developers to test out like the latest, like like for those phones that don't get betas. I mean, Samsung is fortunate to get a beta. OnePlus is fortunate to get a beta, but there's other phones they're not able to get beta programs. So what they do is they'll if they're enrolled into that GSI, if they're able to load GSI, they will be able to load GSI and test Google's release of their beta on their GSI from their website.
Now you said if they're able to load GSI, was that an issue?
Yeah, well, because what happens is you have to unlock the bootloader to load a GSI because it's going to override the system image.
Gotcha.
But like I said, Google's working on that thing where you're able to sideload the GSI via SD card and run it on the SD card. Something similar to the way you can run Linux on a thumb drive.
So it's like having two partitions, basically.
Yes.
That's incredible.
You're talking
Yeah.
to a
That's
retired
in handy
programmer.
too.
I was going to say George's experience doing some of the stuff that you're talking about. You're like, woo,
Yeah, but I have never rooted a phone in my life. Probably
right.
never.
No, but you understood some of what he's talking about.
That is a
24
surprise.
years as a mainframe programmer, I understand jargon, you know.
But you know it. Josh, talking to you right now. I mean, you think about it, you're over 10 years been messing around with these phones, so you're extremely versed in this stuff.
We should have Munchie on with these two.
What's that, George?
Have Munchie on, the two of them would be.
Yeah, I thought of the same thing. I'm surprised the professor hasn't popped in. And my last question then is, how are you existing on Samsung beings you've done all this stuff? I don't you find yourself like on some of the things that Samsung does for their UI alone driving you nuts, or no?
That was an issue when I first used Samsung. When I used TouchWiz was horrible. A headache.
TouchWiz was horrible to everybody.
Yeah.
As soon as I used TouchWiz, I was like, I'm rooting this. I'm getting it off, throwing custom ROM, and that's the end of it. TouchWiz, no. But with One UI, it's still it's still a little heavy for my taste. But some of the features that I use on custom ROM, such as the theming, we used to be able to, when multi-window wasn't in Android itself, custom ROMs had multi-window because they ported it over from Samsung. Now Samsung has so many features that are like from the custom ROMs. The theming is one of the big parts. The S Pen, I mean, that's not part of the custom ROM, but that's what's keeping me right now with the Note. That's what intrigued me, was the Note. I always wanted to see, everybody talks about an S Pen, Note, and I'm like, you're going to be one of those people that I'll buy a Note, and you're never going to use the S Pen. You'll use it in the beginning because it's that honeymoon phase. I get to doodle, I get to, write my little notes and then send and this and that, and have fun with it in the beginning. But it's going to be one of those things that, you don't use. You're not going to be able to use every day, or you're not going to want to use it. You just eventually forget about it. And
so do you use it now?
Yes, I actually use it quite a bit now. I did my little Happy Thanksgiving fleet on Twitter with my S Pen. I started getting back into drawing with the S Pen, actual drawing, because I don't carry around pen and paper all the time. So, I just pull out my note and start doodling and doing some little drawing there. Had fun with the little GIFs that you can send. I used it this weekend. Not this weekend. I used it for Thanksgiving for the family pictures because of the Bluetooth feature of the S Pen.
Cool. That is very cool. Yeah.
You just set your camera up and then bam, 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 take pictures and stuff like that. So that was pretty neat. I didn't have to, do the palm thing. I didn't have to, say
Ever
cheese.
since they came out with that in the S Pen, I thought that was the coolest thing they ever did to the S Pen.
Yeah, so I was able to just like, and then when you take the pictures, I didn't have to push the button and shift the camera any bit. I just click, say cheese, click, say cheese.
Okay.
Use the S Pen for that.
So you didn't take a bunch of cheesy pictures. I couldn't resist. I'm sorry.
George, you're going to go in timeout. That's all I got to say.
Hey, Brian actually brings up a point regarding GSI about, SD cards.
Mm-hmm.
How long do you think Samsung will keep, that thing in play?
That I don't know, because Samsung is one to they don't want anybody messing with their stuff. And that's why it's taking them so long for even going over to this AB partition. Like they're behind on the AB partition. They're still doing their update where it'll say optimizing apps, has to restart the phone. It's very slow.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. I thought it was just me seeing that. I'm like going,
no.
My S10 does that. I'm like,
if it was an AB partition, you're literally gonna freaking update while using the phone, and then all it's gonna do is just gonna reboot the phone, and you're ready to go on the updated partition. And it's so much easier. But with Samsung, they're kind of still on the old A slot only, so it's gonna have to turn off, reboot, then say optimizing apps, and do all this installation process, and it's still gonna make your phone useless it makes your phone useless while it's updating.
I remember those days.
Yeah.
Phones with AB partitions out right now?
Pixel, OnePlus, I believe I don't know if some Motorola's have it.
No, I know I just got an update on this
LG
phone,
has it for sure,
and it did exactly
That-
like my Pixel would be.
Yeah.
Josh, you know,
That's the AB partition. It just automatically switches over, and you're already updated.
Yeah, that's LG as well.
Mike, was that
I
the
don't see that.
stylus?
yeah, it's a stylus. Yeah,
Update my stylus then.
yeah. Probably LG. Safe to say, pretty much all of them.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah, I don't see
you know
that
all
optimizing
the
thing anymore.
all the yeah. And that was one of the things. That was one of the things they mentioned in IO long ago. That you know your phone was going to be able to do the update. It wouldn't be all those other things you meant. You know those other instances of it. And it's funny. Like I said, my last update on my S10, I'm like going, this is old school. But I you know, oh well, I just kind of shrugged it off and went about my business and let it do its thing. That's see, I learned something new today. I didn't know that. So
yeah, the AB partition is just, and the AB partition for custom ROMs, when it comes to custom ROMs and GSI, is extremely good because if you're an actual developer, if you're using a custom ROM and it fails on the loading or anything like that, and it crashes, what it does is it reverts back to the other partition that is working, and your phone is still useful.
Oh, that's cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, because if you break one partition, or if you mess up one partition, say the ROM fails to install, or it's just a bad ROM, corrupt, whatever, it reverts back to the working slot, which will keep your phone working.
Okay.
so it's like a fail safe, in other words.
Yeah, that was one thing, because you ever hear like the Pixel? I mean, like back then they used to have the update bricked my phone. The update bricked my phone.
You hear that all the time.
Yeah,
all the time.
So what happens is when it bricks the phone, it'll boot loop a couple of times, and then it reverts back to the working slot.
Okay.
So it fixes boot loops. That's excellent.
Yeah.
I remember boot loops, and I have to fix that myself. And I just factory reset the whole thing. Hopefully that fixes it. If not, reflash something or anything.
So let me just move on to George. Do you want to ask him now that question about what you had? We were talking while we were working out our problems.
First thing. Oh, and by the way, Josh, if you want to see the show notes, if you go to mobilegeezer.wordpress.com, it's the first story every week. So that's where the show notes are. But the first thing he had on the list was if you could ask 2 questions to a diehard Android user, and this could be anything about the platform, even if it deals with an iPhone, what are the 2 questions? So I said my first question would be, what do you love about Android over Apple? But you kind of answered that already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, like when it came to when I used the iPhone, I picked up the iPhone SE 2020, which was just to get me into the door with iOS. I wasn't trying to go for face unlock or features and stuff like that. Now, everybody told me, this is one thing that I wanted to test for myself, is everybody told me that Google apps work better on iOS.
You hear that all the time.
So I wanted to test that out. So I opened up my maps, and I would say, okay, Google, on my Android phone, while the maps open, on the Google Maps, it has a little mic at the very top corner. When you say, okay, Google, and you ask for the message, or say send text message, or do whatever it wants to do, it doesn't take up the whole screen. That little mic lights up, your message comes across the top of the screen, and everything's integrated, because everything's integrated very well. When I tried it on iOS, of course, you cannot say, okay, Google. So you have to take your eyes off the road to push that little mic button, just so that you can reply to your command of what you want to do. But being that it's not integrated with the messaging system, it won't send messages. You have to say Siri. So when you say Siri, Siri takes up the whole screen up until iOS 14. When it takes up the little portion of the screen. I think it's at the bottom or something like that.
Yeah, it's at the bottom, right.
So, but up until that time, yeah, it was taking up the whole screen. So you would literally get out of maps to, say your command or whatever it was going to say. And that was right there was something that annoyed me, because on Android, everything was just integrated. Second, because of what I do, I always upload stuff to my drive, share stuff to my drive. And then when I get a new phone, I download stuff from my drive. With iOS, Google Drive didn't have a download button. You literally have to click on a file and watch it download as it's across the screen. And you see a little bar going. And it wouldn't do it in the background.
Yeah.
And then when I downloaded it, because I ran zip files, or I would download my music. So I would download and unzip, but because of iOS, you can't unzip and just have your music on your internal storage and play it directly from your internal storage.
And I just got to interrupt. And this is where I wish Will was here to hear all this. Damn it!
Oh, yeah.
Like that was my biggest complaint. Like, because I switch phones constantly, and my drive is like I can go and use a sync service and use it and use Sync or whatever or Google Play Music and have all my stuff on the cloud and keep stuff there. But I like my stuff like directly on my phone.
Okay.
So downloading from the iOS, like I said, the drive didn't have the download button, and whenever I try to do it, you literally have to wait there and see the progress bar as it was downloading, and it wouldn't do it in the background. Or I would have to actually open up Chrome to download it into a specific folder.
That's my biggest beef with iPad OS.
The file system was another thing that was getting to me. Was anytime I screenshot it on iOS, it automatically synced to my cloud. Right. Which, on the Pixel phones, it actually creates a separate folder outside of the camera folder.
Yes, it does.
And it doesn't allow that sync because you don't like when I take pictures. That's the only thing I want it to sync is my pictures. I don't want it to sync screenshots. I don't want it to sync stuff that I posted that I took from Twitter, anything. But everything from on iOS syncs into the cloud.
That's true. Next thing you know, all your screenshots are sitting there in your photos.
Yeah, and it didn't separate it. And when I downloaded from Twitter, it didn't put it in a Twitter folder. It just put it in a download folder. But on Android, it separates the folders. Twitter, whatever is downloaded from Twitter is in Twitter folder. Whatever is downloaded from Facebook is in a Facebook folder. Whatever is downloaded from Instagram is an Instagram folder. Right. And I didn't get that. I didn't get that with iOS.
There's a comment here from Krishna here. The phone-to-phone transfer is different on Pixels. You connect a cable phone to a phone, and literally everything transfers, including your home screen widgets.
That's correct.
It's funny because this Pixel 4, I think the last 3 or 4 phones, other than iPhone, everything came off the cloud, and it pulled everything. It pulled my widgets and everything, and I didn't have to connect anything.
Yeah, you can do a pixel to pixel over wireless now. Yeah, pixel to pixel over wireless. It'll detect the 2 pixels and everything from even on the internal storage. Like if you got music files and even just like say zip files, it'll port everything over from your internal storage.
Yeah, I didn't have any zip files, but everything else just came. I didn't have to do a thing. And it's quick
just
too.
Everything over. Yeah.
So George, did he give you the not the atypical answer?
I would say that was definitely the atypical answer.
No, not an atypical.
It was atypical because it wasn't typical. Atypical.
No, okay, all right, okay. But so George, you have another question? That was one.
Now do I have a follow-up? Okay. I guess my second question then would be, with everything he said, do you find using an iPhone at least simpler than using an Android phone?
I would say no.
No.
And the only reason because I have to exit out of, like, say when I go into the camera with like the Samsung any phone, all the settings are in the camera. Every single setting that there is to adjust the camera is in the camera.
Except the iPhone's a real pain in the butt.
You have to exit out, go into the settings, scroll down to the camera, and then adjust all your resolutions, adjust all your,
they changed that in iOS 13.
Whether you want it to go from 30 frames to 60 frames. Well, I mean, it's in the top corner. The frame rate and the resolution is in the top corner. Switching from the formats and stuff like that is still in the settings.
I went out today. I did
that's right. Switching the resolution.
I did the iPhone.
The formats, HIC.
And I had to keep going back out to change it to 4K. That's one thing that's a real pain in the butt with that. Okay, so he's answered both questions, and that makes perfect sense. Now, for the average user, they would have had to make it simpler, but Josh is definitely not your average user.
No, and I'm with Josh as far as that's why I'm declaring that I'm really more of an Android guy. That even though Will might be here saying I didn't give it a chance, I gave it a chance.
I tell everybody that. I mean, everybody knows it. Right now, I have.
I
have 2 iPhones, but I have 21
Android phones. And don't you find you can pick up the Android phone a little bit? You can fly through things and do your stuff that you need to get done.
It depends on what personally, I want to do.
Right. But me personally, I know that I can pick up an Android phone. And that's why I'm getting a Chromebook, because I know I can sit down and go do what I got to do and get in. If I'm in a hurry, get in, get out, and get on.
Yeah.
So
I don't know about that video editing on a Chromebook though. I mean, there's Power Director, but I don't know how Power Director will run on an Intel.
Yeah.
Well, we'll find out. We'll find out.
Now,
but I'm not declaring. Go ahead, Josh.
What got me to get into the Samsung though was not only that's like the camera moving away from Pixel, but the DeX. Like I use DeX.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I shoot my video, I can edit, like you said, with Power Director, and all I do is just, use DeX and put it on the big screen and use my keyboard and mouse and stuff like that.
I've been hearing that a lot lately about DeX. There's a lot more converts.
Yeah.
With
and
DeX going on.
And I can still use my phone.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get Premiere Rush for free?
Huh? No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I don't use Premiere Rush. I don't know.
I was going to ask you, does DeX work only on the high-end flagships, the ones with the would it work on like an A71? Is the DeX on the A71?
I don't think DeX is built into A71.
No,
it's
I'm not sure
the
It's
S
the
series.
A line at all.
I think it's the S
It's
series.
an S series.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that was my biggest thing was the fact that like I can shoot my video, and I don't like everybody. AirDrop is amazing when it comes. Like I've heard AirDrop's amazing because you can transfer it to your Mac and everything like that.
AirDrop is amazing when it works. People like to think it just works automatically, but sometimes you have to keep pressing it. It's really like a fingers crossed sort of thing with
I
AirDrop.
found the same thing, Ted.
So like I said, what I do is I just like literally you can use the HDMI cable, or if your TV supports Wi-Fi direct, it'll transfer over and you can use it off, your regular TV. And like if I was at home right now, I would be able to do this and put y'all on my TV and use my phone as my camera separately and have everything split. It's just the way it works is like it's like having 2 separate devices at the same time.
Okay.
So I used to do a lot of like the gaming, and I would put my gaming on the TV. But if I would get a phone call or a dual call, I can answer it on my phone and still use my phone. It never took away the functionality of the phone.
That's good.
Wow, that's cool.
Well, I know, Ted, you kind of said you're a DeX fan too, right?
Yeah, love it. Versatility. I love the versatility.
I gotta check that out. So, all right, Ted, your 2 questions, please.
My 2 questions. Oh, let's see. Let me get the email up. What was it? If you got 2 questions, yeah. If Androids are so good, why do they copy whatever Apple does?
You got to ask yourself, if Apple was so good, why would they copy what Android does?
Yeah, well, I would say that's true of all companies.
That's actually.
Like I never say iOS is bad, because I would recommend iOS person. For an iPhone user, I'm never going to try to say like, hey, you're an iPhone user. No, you need to have Android. You need to have this, because iOS is not bad. There are a lot of things it's good at. Like the video thing is good. The way the ecosystem is solid.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, the ecosystem is solid. As far as like when it copies certain things, it like both of them will copy each other, but that's what makes each one strive for more. I got to try to do it better, because one's going to always one up. Even if I'm copying your stuff, I'm going to try to tweak it to make it better. And then you're going to copy mine and tweak it to make it better.
I would say like, even Android will copy the bad things. Like, and am I talking about the headphone jack?
Oh, the headphone jack, Motorola did it first.
Yeah, because they knew Apple was going to do it.
And then the Essential did the notch, and that was it.
Yeah, right. You're right. That's right. The Moto Z. One of the Moto.
Yeah, the Moto Z was the first that came out, but everybody knew Apple was going to remove the headphone jack like a year in advance.
Yeah, that's true.
Like that's. The headphone jack is kind of. I'm not really like one of those audiophile people, so I really don't know if the USB Type-C audio is better than the actual.
No, USB Type-C. No, that never, for some reason, ever took off, which is why companies probably don't put it in the box anymore.
But could you get higher quality audio out of USB-C versus the headphone jack itself?
We should, but nobody, like manufacturers don't even try that anymore. The whole point, when the headphone jack was supposed to be killed, companies were saying that, they'll have the DAC in a USB-C, and then, they'll be able to plug in that DAC in any Android phone, and regardless, you'll always get the same audio quality.
Right.
That never happened.
No.
What happened at first was companies would make a USB-C DAC that would either be good or be bad. If it was good, then it wouldn't work with another Android smartphone, or like it wouldn't work with the computer.
You can take OnePluses and try to plug it into some other phones. It doesn't work at all.
Yeah.
So
the OnePlus dongle doesn't work in other phones.
Not in some phones. Some phones it does. So far, my OnePlus dongle, I haven't plugged into another phone that it worked in yet. But I probably have one that it will. I just haven't hit them all.
Yeah, I had a Sony one that was like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think they've all just given up on the USB-C dongle and just focused on making their own true wireless earbuds.
And that's a shame, because I think if they had all come up with giving us a good DAC, it would have been a great thing, don't you think?
I mean, not just a good DAC, but a universal USB dongle.
That's what I meant. A good DAC in the USB-C. Yeah.
Well, I just realized you're talking about a dongle. If they would make one that's universal and would work properly, so it just made me think about Apple and all the dongles they sold after the fact, and then that's what put them as a $1 trillion company. So somebody's missing a boat. We got to make our own dongle. Come on, guys. You know what I mean?
Well, that's OnePlus did.
Yeah. So darn.
Yeah.
All right. I am. Wait. That was one question. You didn't get away. Ted, you got another question or what?
Ted, your follow-up.
Follow-up.
My follow-up question. My follow-up question is actually a bit of a wild card. Okay, so it was recently released by Bumble and Tinder that people who message on iOS had better success in their dating life. Knowing this, Josh, if you were a bachelor, would that make you make any choices in
Josh,
your
I want to let you know this is a family
day?
show, so keep your response family friendly.
Of course, the obvious response is no. I don't want to go that with love before that. For maybe having an iPhone, I just want to go to lovely for who I have.
And you do have a born again Christian who gets very offended at cursing, just so you know.
Yeah. I always like the Apple when it first came out, it was like the status symbol, and everybody you always heard the. You can't afford an iPhone, so that's why you get a cheap Android.
Yeah.
But in this time, we already have phones like the Note was like 1,300. Z Fold is 2,000. We've already Android phones have already surpassed Apple in pricing, and now Apple has gone the other route of getting cheaper.
Yeah.
But we did a story in the show about a month ago that dating people who have Apple watches showing in their picture get dates faster than anybody.
They get more swipes to the right. Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's true. To this day, that's
so.
weird.
Now,
So in your profile pictures, would you have an Android phone in your Tinder profile?
I guess I'm a loser. Okay.
No, I would have that. I would have the Moto Watch.
See, today I'm wearing this one, but I switch it with my Samsung watch every other day.
It's not about how many swipes you get in your because of your profile picture. It's how successful the relationship becomes after that. That's the success. If I use an Apple Watch to get relationship status or to get relationships,
to get swipes.
To get swipes.
My answer to that would have been, if I can't on my mouth to get me dates, nothing else is going to help. You have to remember, back in the day, my mouth got me.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think Mike and I would disagree. I think if you say less, definitely with the puns, you might go further.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're like, oh.
You have to understand, if you're a player, you become a master manipulator. In about 20 years, I was pretty much a master manipulator. I'm not proud of that, but that's the way it was.
20 years ago, there wasn't an Apple Watch either. So
I was the kind of guy that somebody would say, "You can't get that girl," and I'm like, "Oh, really?" You know, I had a date with that girl. That was the kind of ego I had.
let's see. Gary's in the room, so let's see what he has to say.
Oh, here comes trouble.
Yep, here comes trouble. When coming in to get a woman, the phone doesn't matter as long as you got $40.
Oh, you talk about chauvinist. I was never that bad. I'll tell you that.
Thanks, Gary. I'm glad you could make it in today.
Very dependable.
That did bring out Gary.
Anyway, Josh, you going to stick around for the whole show? Are you going to take the abuse or what? What are you going to do?
Yeah, I can stick around.
Okay. Or because we got the audio fixed.
Yeah. Had to cover one mic.
To keep it covered, it's doing great. Whatever you're doing, I'll send you some tape. Okay.
All right.
Are we sticking with the order of the stories or not?
Yeah, I think it's. Wait a minute. Two questions. Okay. Yes. The next thing is I'm going to play some videos, if I can get this right.
I listened. Well, you got the AC podcast. Yeah. Now I listened to the entire thing already. So.
Yeah, but okay, but I'm first was to watch the influencer first, which I have.
Yeah, and I didn't have the video, so
and I think you might then I didn't specify which AC podcast, so you probably would have listened to it.
It was the latest one.
No, it was the one before that. There were 500.
I listened to that one too because I listened to all of them.
Oh, yeah, I know. You can't help yourself. How am I doing this again? Okay, screen share. Screen share, and no, not that one. Here we go. Let's see if I can do this right. Is it coming through?
Not the audio.
Not the audio.
Yeah, you might have to click in settings for the to get rid of.
Hold on. What was that, George?
There's something in settings that'll let you. I think you might have to uncheck echo cancellation in settings and audio. Maybe that'll fix it.
In settings, where's that at?
Settings is in the middle of the bottom of your screen.
Right.
It says cam and mic.
Got it.
Click on that. Click on audio. And if echo cancellation is checked, try unchecking it, or vice versa.
Okay.
I think that may fix it. I'm not positive.
Let me know. Here we go.
Still not hearing it. Okay, that did not fix it. That was my best shot. I've never shared one this way, so I don't.
No, I can't remember what I did.
You have to. Are you all connected over Bluetooth for your audio on mic?
No, I got a Yeti mic here that's plugged in.
Oh, and then what do you have for the audio?
What do you mean, mic?
I mean, how are you listening to it? You're plugged in.
I'm wired. Yeah, the headphone.
Yeah, well, so what has to happen is, you have to let the audio from the video come through your computer or whatever, and then your mic has to pick it up.
I have to kill it that way?
Oh, can you just unplug his earphones?
Yeah, he has to plug, yeah.
Unplug your earphones, Mike, see if that works.
Now?
Yeah.
Do you hear it?
No. No.
Do you hear it, yes or no?
No.
No.
No?
No.
Do you hear it? How are you even hearing us?
And now we don't hear you.
Because he muted himself.
Okay. No, we're not hearing anything.
Can't hear you. You're muted. You muted yourself.
Can't hear you at all, Mike.
You're muted. Mike, you're muted.
Does that mean he's immutable?
There we go.
There we go. Yep.
Now we've got sound.
Yep.
Internet browsing with things like social media, ride-sharing apps, and streaming video. Things we are all accustomed to having in our lives today. And the next frontier, 5G, is just about here. It's the latest and greatest for a number of reasons. All of this wireless technology is built on the electromagnetic spectrum, using different frequencies of radio waves. 5G can be broken down into three sort of sections of waves. There's the low band, there's the mid band, and then there's the high band, also known as millimeter wave. Verizon 5G ultra-wideband utilizes spectrum in the 28 gigahertz range and in the 39 gigahertz range. They use these higher frequencies because they provide astronomical mobile speeds. But the trade-off is that they don't travel as far and they don't penetrate buildings as well as the lower frequencies do. That's why if your neighbor is blasting music, you can usually hear that bass thumping, but you can't really hear the vocals or any of the higher frequencies. I'm currently at Zuccotti Park, located in downtown Manhattan, where Verizon.
Why did you use this guy and not Mr. Mobiles?
I'm going to run a few speed tests to show you
Or
how fast
MKBHD.
it really is.
Yeah.
With speeds like this, doing everyday
Sam
action
Sheffer's
with your
voice
smartphone
doesn't
becomes
like.
orders of magnitude faster.
It's like hearing the word moist.
Show in under a minute. I can save a playlist offline faster than you can name every song on that playlist. I can certainly watch YouTube videos in high resolution with super minimal buffering. Aside from the mind-blowing speeds, 5G.
All right, can you hear me, guys?
Yeah.
Yep.
I love when he said that millimeter wave doesn't travel as well. It hardly travels at all. Come on.
I can continue with the rest of the video, or should I move on to the next to the counterpoint of this?
It's your show.
I know it's my show. When it Ted's,
Well, you can move on. Move it out. Yeah.
Move it on. Move it on.
Yeah, to the counterpoint. What you?
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, he basically says though, this is by Verizon, and yet doesn't specify that to get these incredible speeds, he has to stand next to the damn tower. Okay.
Somebody's body can block that signal.
Right. It's probably surprised he's not doing this, holding it up in the air.
Exactly.
Okay.
He doesn't also mention that you also need their special 5G UW phones, which cost more.
By the way, the echo is back.
The echo's back.
The echo is back.
Yeah, but it's not as bad as what Josh is. So don't feel the need to stop it.
Josh needs to go get a piece of masking tape.
I don't think it's Josh.
I don't think it's from Josh.
I think it's something you changed on your.
No, never me.
It's never you.
It's never me. I'm perfect. Hold on a sec. Where's that audio thingy? Echo.
Oh Lord, it's hard to be humble.
How about that? Or should I
It wasn't you, Josh. I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Even though Mike tried to blame you, Josh.
Let me.
Okay, we're good now.
Are you better now? All right. Let me see if I can do this again.
And at my age, being better now is not so easy. Trust me.
Share screen. Yeah. Window tab. So here's hopefully this comes through. Let me know, guys.
Okay.
What you got?
49.
Oh, I remember. I didn't listen to the whole episode because they were all on it. Even Phil was on. Phil
I know. It was pretty good.
Oh, I enjoyed hearing after so long.
What, Phil Nicholson?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, they had everybody for the 500th episode.
I'm going to ask: Is it coming through? I'm playing it right now.
Okay, go.
Is it coming through?
No.
How about now?
Nothing yet.
Nothing yet.
Nope.
No, you have to rest the echo.
Now?
Nope.
Let me go back to this. Now?
Nope.
You got to do what you did before.
But baby, we just ain't heard nothing yet. Oh, Josh, I was a singer in bands for about 50 years. So
I think I hear it.
2 hours later.
I think I hear it. Yeah.
Now we're hearing it. Now we're hearing it.
For everything I wanted it for, and it doesn't matter anymore.
Alex, are your friend.
I really like. I really.
Okay, that was Joe. That was Ara. I know that.
Mention 5G a little bit.
Okay, here we go.
About not being able to leave the house much and how 5G sort of proliferated in spite of nobody wanting it. Has anybody here had a wow moment with 5G? Because I haven't. And said
wow, this sucks moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, my 5G moment is wow. I'd have to pay how much more to AT&T per month? No.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, it's not about you and me and phones. It's about the carriers and them being it's another revenue stream. That's all it is right now.
That's right.
Yeah,
and not even a B2C revenue stream. It's a B2B revenue stream as much as anything. And maybe that's probably going to be more important than any sort of B2C revenue stream. And how do you explain that to people? Like, you can't put that in a commercial. I can't explain that to my wife and kid.
That's it. And now we don't hear you or that.
Now that people are finally convinced that maybe 5G is not going to kill them, now it's like, okay, well, we need to have some sort of effect over what the poles are going to look like and the aesthetics.
Okay, I'm going to stop it right there for now. Can you hear me first off?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So, right out of the gate, these guys said right away, no, there's no, and if anything, Ariel Wagner, is that her name?
No, Ara
said right away, talking about that she's on AT&T and they're going to charge her extra.
Exactly. And that's one thing I love about T-Mobile. I have 5G on 2 of these phones. T-Mobile's not charging me a dime more.
But have you, and this is a question for Josh.
Yeah.
Ted, are you on 5G of any kind? Any phones?
Not an iota of 5G. I'm lucky to even get 4G.
My 5G works on both my phones, great in Chattanooga, and it worked great in Miami and Fort Lauderdale.
So there's my question to you. Do you guys see a big thing with 5G?
How about you, Dave?
Where are the benefits?
Josh. Sorry. How about you, Josh?
No, actually, when I went to Corpus, I got 5G signal and actually went slower than what I'm getting on 4G.
And I've heard some people say that. Now, my 5G, and I actually tested it when I was in Fort Lauderdale. It was faster than the 4G, but dipped by a little bit. Now, keep in mind, that's when T-Mobile was the only one that had nationwide low band. Now they have low band, and they probably have some mid band too. So I have consistently found 5G is faster, but not much faster yet. And as far as when you asked, did anybody have a wow moment? You're not going to have a wow moment with 5G unless you're on millimeter wave. That's the only way you're going to get it.
Sorry for the echo, for the technical. I'll for some reason I can't remember what I did last time when I did this.
Well, it sounds okay now.
Well, I'm back on with this, but I'm going to have to unplug my headphones, I guess, when I run the next part.
Okay.
Christian says here, yes, it's like 3G to 4G days all over again. Carriers are going to exploit as much as they can with each with their own buzzwords: faster, more reliable, most coverage. But none of them have it at all.
Yeah, and so to me, I feel like I was lucky that I was on T-Mobile because at least I am seeing some 5G speeds on any phone that I've got that has 5G. It's a little bit faster, and I think it's because it's low band. But I have had it in both cities. Yeah.
But you see any well, Josh, I didn't hear. Excuse me, I was playing around technical stuff here. What was your answer again? I'm sorry.
Oh, when I was in Corpus, I got 5G, and it was actually slower than what I was getting on 4G.
Yeah, and I've heard other people say the same thing. That hasn't happened to me at all.
So really, we haven't seen any benefit to these 5G phones.
I've seen a benefit when I did my testing in Fort Lauderdale with the Galaxy S20. I downloaded 2 different, the same thing on 4G and 5G, and it was, I'd say, a third faster on 5G. That was the big difference.
Okay. And way that Sam was showing in New York City, I mean, ridiculous speeds. And yes, you can download a TV show, get a playlist, whatever.
Yeah, New York City, Chicago, Dallas, San Francisco. Yeah, you get next to those towers, you're going to be great.
Yeah. So once
Island,
as soon as you went around the block, that was it. It was done and over with.
Exactly. As soon as you go with anything bricks, metal, it's gone. And that's why I don't think that ultimately millimeter wave will ever be successful, because I think the amount of money you'd have to spend to get it to go everywhere would be in the billions and billions and billions of dollars. And I don't think anybody's going to spend
And also here we got Brian saying carriers hate them. I have unlocked phones that I can just walk away and go anywhere.
Exactly.
But now they're going to start charging you. The phones are
Well,
going to start costing more money.
T-Mobile doesn't charge me for my 5G, and I have it on 2 phones.
No, the phone itself. They're going to
phone, yes, I paid extra for the S20 because it's 5G, and I paid extra for the
Well,
iPhone.
the 7. Well, I think no, the 7. The Snapdragon was 770 series. Those would be the affordable phones, right? There's going to be 2 flagship nows.
Yeah,
the
you're going to start finding a lot more affordable 5G
975s.
phones. Because heck, who makes the 5G phone now you can buy for about $400? Somebody makes a cheap one. I forgot who.
The LG Velvet with the Dimensity 1000. That's T-Mobile.
Yeah.
Oh, and no, wait. Verizon also has one with that TCL phone, right?
TCL, that's it. The new TCL.
Let's see, we got
I have the TCL 10 Pro over there, but I don't have 5G one.
How you doing, C? Thank you for joining us. So,
oh, I see you. Oh, I couldn't resist.
Sorry there. Anyway, yeah, it just bugs me that that is a YouTube influencer that comes out with this video, and granted, he got paid by Verizon, and never really,
When did that video come out?
When for Sam's video came October 16th.
Okay, now
of this year.
Mm-hmm.
Now, basically,
if it was last year, I'd be getting, I'd understand why he's trying to
Mobile and MKBHD said this. They were both honest about it. As soon as they went around a corner, signal was gone. Last year,
Yeah, Brian's saying TCL makes the cheap, their cheapest 5G phone, which is you can't. I don't know. Can you take that phone after you pay it off? Can you take that phone somewhere else to use it?
I'm not sure. My TCL phone.
There's no saying whether it'll be compatible with another network.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Let me go. Let me find my throwback video and unplug myself so I can't talk over this.
While we talk about 5G, though, I think we should talk about how I think what was in Norway, or those European countries, like their 4G for them is like 200 megabits down.
That's 4G, right? The advanced LTE.
That's 4G, yeah.
When I was with T-Mobile, I had 4G, and on the OnePlus, and I was hitting about 125 megabits. And that was 4G.
I love my
it's just funny how we're using 5G, everyone's drumming up 5G, but I don't think the USA's ever really tapped into what 4G can offer.
I agree.
Or they don't unlock it. I was like, they throttle it.
My phones are unlocked, but because I know I'm never going to leave T-Mobile, I don't mind buying a T-Mobile phone once in a while.
Hey, Harmless. How you doing, Carl? How you doing?
Hey, Carl.
Hey, Carl. Good to see you, brother.
Good to see you there.
He's the nicest guy.
Stop. Are you falling asleep on his head? Stop.
Are we keeping you awake? I'm sorry. You slovenly.
Before I jump on the next thing, I meant to ask Josh, did you get in on any Black Friday deals?
No. Not when it comes to technology.
Smart man. Oh, no, when it comes to technology. Well,
he bought something for his wife and kids or something.
He probably bought like a Ninja Grill, right?
Let's see. My girlfriend bought a chair. I think they might be buying their mom an Apple Watch Series 3.
So she'll be in a good mood from now on, right? Because she'll be very cheerful.
It's like he increased. Oh, this is level 9. Oh my gosh. We're gonna be at the boss stage soon.
So let me see if I can do this, and I'm going to unplug my audio, my headphones, and
video.
Play the next video. Let's see.
Oh, is this our throwback video?
I think it's going to be our throwback video. Yeah.
Let's see how far back we go.
All right. Share. Oh no, not this one. No, not this one.
I see your brother, and I see myself.
Yeah. Oh, I got it. Wait a minute. I picked out the wrong one. Here. Where the heck did it go? it?
Ted muted himself so he can make noise
Did
in
it
the
again.
background.
Yeah, this is the last time I'm gonna be doing the ice cream and cake combo for our stream.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, is that what's killing you? I'm sorry, guys. I'm having trouble finding. I see this one.
Technical issues.
Yeah, I know. But,
Oh, this
man,
was a throwback issue.
yeah. We're trying to find it.
You don't see any LG deals.
No,
Let's
no,
see. My-
you don't. No, you don't.
Well, actually, Mike, the LG sales actually start a month after the phone has been announced.
Yeah, yeah. It's pretty common. Let's see. Wait a minute. Is this it? Will. There we go. Here we go. Let's see if I can get this.
Here's the man. And now we got to get this.
All right.
Look at this. Back in the day. Was this 2 years ago? Oh, wow.
I don't think it's even that far, maybe a year and a half. We don't hear any sound out of the video yet.
It looks like the 2 years were hard on Mike. We got less gray in his beard.
He's thinner than he was then, I think. And he's trying to get us some sound, I think.
Did you hear it or no?
No.
You were muted, Mike. We couldn't have heard it.
Colors are off.
How about now?
Okay, now we can. No, not a chance. Right. Yeah, somebody was like 8 colors or something. You know that not.
You hear it?
Yeah.
Do that because if we put the LG G7 ThinkQ on AT&T and T-Mobile, we'll give you 64 gigs. That's so when we put it on Sprint, we can give them the LG G7 ThinkQ Plus with 128 gigs.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. That burns me, man. And I would think they learned their lesson with the G5. Remember, you had all those friends that never really made it here.
Terrible.
Yeah, I think they learned their lesson from the friends, but the flipping around to different parts of the world, they all do that. You can't just blame LG for that.
No, it's not. Everybody doesn't do it though. Samsung will change they'll change the processor because they have to because of the agreement, and they might give them more memory. Sometimes they'll change the RAM. Some people do. Samsung will do the colors. LG will say, "We're not giving you the quad DAC. We'll give you wireless charging."
Right.
That's ridiculous.
Okay, I'm sorry. It's just I was looking for some classic one, and there's Will. What can I say?
That's as classic as it gets.
Great. Will is just all over on the information.
And Mike, you are definitely thinner now than you were then.
See?
So you're going in the right direction.
See, it only takes me to work 10 hours a day to start losing weight. That's all. Maybe 12, But yeah, I just that's what made me ask that question. I mean, it seemed like we've been doing this forever, and it's only about 2.5 years.
Like it was about a year and 3/4 years ago, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I know you were doing it, and I think you were doing it on your channel for the longest time, and then we eventually started, bebop.
No, I didn't start doing it until I talked to you and.
No, I know. I thought we would do it on your channel only.
Oh yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, so yeah, I just had to throw that, throw that. See George. See the background what George has. He's come a long way. He went from a panel background to back in 19 what again in San Francisco?
Late 1917 or early 1918.
Yeah. So
I mean 2018. I'm saying 1918. I wasn't alive. Even I wasn't alive.
All right, I'm going to try this without the audio is working, and I'm not going to plug this in. I'll just keep this off for now.
Okay.
The next thing.
Some gadget guy.
Yeah.
But no, also another reason. Back in the day, LG used to give good deals when they announced their phones. They would either give you a washer or a dryer or a TV or a discount on the fridge. And then, by the time Black Friday hits around, their phones is discounted enough, you can buy it. Like you don't need any.
Yo, hey, Josh, you know, and all the stuff you were talking about, I didn't hear you talk about LG at all. Was that ever
device? I had an LG G4 and that boot looped, and then I had the LG V20 and that one overheated.
Really?
And then I left over.
People just loved the V20. I remember.
Like, what do you mean it overheated? Like it overheated to like it didn't turn on anymore, or what?
No, it overheated. Like every time I was using the camera to shoot video, it would just start heating up like crazy.
Oh,
I had an 820 processor, didn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you did a 4K too much on the 820,
now whenever I take my stylus out now, if it's like above 90, I can't take video for more than about 2 minutes, and then I gotta let it cool off.
There we go. Christian says salt and pepper beer suits you, Mike.
There you go.
Yeah, you know, the lady downstairs likes this way, you know, what can I say? Yeah. Anyway. So where are we at here? We're going to
there was some Facebook thing that showed what you might look like, and it was supposed to be for younger people at 75. Well, I am 75, but when I took it, it made a guy that kind of looked younger, but he had this beard. And Eleanor said, "You should grow that." Yeah, it would take me 4 years. It would take me 2 years to grow a beard like Mike has. I don't grow hair.
Gary, I want an LG wing with range dressing.
There you go. That works for me.
Oh man. Let me ask you this, Josh. Being you're the new guy here, does any of the LG devices, you know, trip your fancy a little bit, like the wing?
I was actually interested in the LG wing for the gimbal effect.
Yeah, me too. But it costs too much money, and I spent too much money on the phone already. And
then the gimbal effect, and then the
$1,000.
When you watch YouTube, you can actually put the chat at the bottom screen and keep the video going at the top screen. So it doesn't.
I saw that somebody's video, yeah.
When you put it in landscape mode, so I mean I was actually looking at that as being pretty good. Everything else was just kind of, what would I be using it for? In other words, would I really be opening it up all the time to be using it? And
I think Flossie put his out today. I got to watch that tomorrow, because one thing about Flossie, his stuff is very honest. Straight
up. Here we go. Let's try to share a screen.
You're becoming a generous guy. You're just sharing with us all.
No, just sharing the screen. Let's see. Oh, here he is. Here we go. Juan, I hope you don't get mad at me, but I just sorry. I love your viewpoints and stuff. So here we go.
And again, not something that we have to spend too much time on. Something we need to keep our eye on.
Is it coming through?
The next year.
Yeah. What the heck just happened?
Something I hope
okay.
On. The U.S. could soon ban the selling of carrier-locked phones. Written up by Ashworth on Wired.
Good.
There we go. Sometimes even when you own a device, you're still not fully in control of it. Buy a smartphone from one of the big U.S. carriers, and it typically comes locked to that carrier's network. If you want to take that phone and use it on a different carrier's network, the process of making that happen can be a real pain. Carriers in the U.S. are required to let you switch networks, and each carrier has its own protocol for unlocking your phone to make that possible. Some processes are more cumbersome than others, but in almost all cases, it's a big annoyance. Luckily, it's an annoyance that may soon be rendered obsolete. So following a recent initiative in the UK and some of the anti-consumer policy watchdog action in the EU, I would be really excited if in the early years of our 5G rollout, we could make this a real go.
I love that.
It would improve a manufacturer's ability to make singular phone models. They wouldn't have to make a UW version just for Verizon that can't even use the same case. It's like the other version, the same version of that phone on another carrier. You know, like we have, again, the illusion of competition in the United States, and it would be really nice if it were easier for a consumer to buy a phone, use it on one network, decide, hey, I want to do business with someone else, or I want to go to an MVNO, maybe save a little cash, go to somegadgetguy.com on the support page. I have a link where you can get a month of Google Fi. Shameless plug. But that whole relationship would be much more accessible. The competition is what matters, and that's what helps us improve a consumer's ability to vote with their wallet. You don't have to worry about, can I get this phone unlocked, or it's too much of a hassle. I'll just sign up for a different kind of service and just buy a phone on this new carrier. It's wasteful. And then at the same time, it would just be nice so that consumers had a better understanding of what these phones cost. Because if you ban carrier locked phones, it gets increasingly more difficult to kind of keep a consumer tied to your network through phone leasing programs, or we'd probably be pushing buying and owning a phone outright instead of these zero interest loans. Instead of making someone think that $50 a month for 30 months is a reasonable price to pay for that crown jewel, beautiful top tier phone, they'd be much more inclined to look at a $400 to $700 phone if it might just as well cover their needs, and it wasn't just the fashion flex. I feel like this is where the UK and EU markets are much healthier for the actual device manufacturers. And Saeed is saying UK made that mandatory, making phones unlocked when you buy from a carrier.
Okay,
Yeah, that Saeed is a very smart guy. That just Juan called out. Must be smart.
And so now, interesting prospect. And before I play the next piece, that's like a counter, like what and it's a bit of a throwback at the same time. I want to hear what you guys' thoughts on that. What are you thinking?
I buy all my phones outright and almost all of them unlocked, so I'm with him on that.
It needs to be done yesterday.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. If the phone is paid off, it should be unlockable. But no matter how long even if you buy it from the carrier, as long as the phone's paid off, whether you get the service for like 1 month or 6 months, it should still be unlockable. In my opinion. The problem that I had is I couldn't find the iPhone SE 2020. So I went to Cricket to buy it, and I bought it outright. And I've had service with them for like years. And I told them I wanted to unlock the phone, and they said you have to have service for 6 months before we can even allow you to unlock the phone. Yeah. But I told them, like, I bought that phone outright. Like, so
why'd you buy it from there, not from Apple? I'm curious.
It would have taken too long. I wanted to get the phone right then and there.
Oh, okay. Damn, that has to hurt as well.
It was just an impatient thing.
That was a suck. Oh, and they said 6 months of service.
I bought T-Mobile lock phone. I had to
you
wait
were like with them for like how many years? And they said 6 months of service?
Yeah, I've had their phone for like since like 2000, probably like 2012, 2013.
Like, you gotta have 6 months of service. We're like, what?
Yeah, and I was like, I've been with y'all forever, and I bought this phone outright. Like, I should be able to unlock it already.
This is why I'm not paying a monthly charge for a phone. I just buy them outright. I'm done.
And here's the thing here with Google Fi. I took the SIM out of this like a few days after I got this phone, and they sent me like a little message like about 24 hours saying, if you don't put the SIM back in, we're going to charge you full price on this phone. I'm like, damn, Big Brother's looking out here,
Yeah, and see, to me, Google Fi is a problem to me. I thought from the very beginning, it's too much money.
I got it for $30 a month. I'm fine with it. It's $10 less than what
I would think, at this point, like Google Fi should be happy just anyone's using their first service, but they're like, no, Motorola G Stylus, buddy. It's not necessarily the best phone, but it's a Fi phone regardless.
Well, I have to pay 2 months, in which I just finished paying the second month just now. So I can probably through this holiday, I'm probably going to take it out and switch phones around. So,
are you keeping Google Fi or?
I don't think so. I know this particular line that's on. I think I'm going to jump on the Mint Mobile deal where you pay for 3 and get 3 months for free.
So did you catch that? He hasn't made a final decision.
Josh is still here. He didn't run away. Ted's still here. He didn't go blank on me. Okay. Anyway, let me go and screen share what I would think would be the next point about
And this is the counter.
It's sort of a counter, but also what.
But also, you know what this would prevent? It would also prevent those poor souls who would probably, you know, buy the phone like just before the new phone comes out, like, you know, like buying an iPhone like on September, just when the newest phone's about to go out, and they end up paying the full price of it.
Yeah, that's bad.
They pay full price for a phone that's about to be, you know, replaced by a new one.
Yes,
that would prevent that as well.
So, screen share here.
Gary's like, never buy a phone.
Mike's becoming an expert this stuff.
Yeah. Ever buy a phone from Cricket Service?
I'm reading that.
Service is good. Get a SIM, but never buy a
Crockett wireless phone. All right.
I'm in Tennessee. You can't disperse the name Crockett here.
All right. I don't know how much I can play this. I got to see you. Okay, here we go.
No,
that's crazy.
No, I see
that
it.
Can't even be an option.
I see that.
That's crazy.
I see when we offer. You drop your phone, you have insurance. You don't want malware or anything.
Maybe I have to go back.
You get
All right, so pull it back further.
I'm gonna get them the fastest. That makes sense.
Yeah. So we're going to push on to the next piece.
All right, here it is.
Okay.
You are paying T-Mobile monthly service, and what I find really interesting is that there's no talk of paying more to your carrier for the privilege of receiving updates.
You guys hearing this?
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's an interesting conversation because should there be an option for you to add $5, $10 a month to guarantee security updates, or is it on the carrier or on the OEM to push out those security updates?
Well, there you have it. There's that moment I heard. No. Wait a minute. Yes, for some, and I know there's a part in here. I think Jerry loses his mind. But just for a second there, do we not offer Norton Security, or are there not apps out there that you can buy on?
Mike, listen.
No. But
they're going to charge you for an update, for a security update.
Yes,
they're not charging you. You have the option. You have the option to get the security
you
update.
That's like saying you're gonna pay extra to have your door have a lock on it. That's crazy. You're gonna pay extra to move in your house to have a lock on your door. Yeah.
No.
That's crazy.
No, I see it. I see when we offer, you drop your phone, you have insurance. You don't want malware or anything. You get
you have to opt in for that, don't you?
Or you get the.
I agree with Will.
I didn't even get a click back over it. Yeah, well, here's the thing. You know, the carriers are going to go. What bothered me in that particular video? By the way, that was February 2018.
Okay.
You know, so what bothered me is I had a unlocked AT&T S7 that never got an update. All because I proceeded to go to carriers that means it was an unlocked phone. Right. It never got an update until I went to AT&T, paid, got it on there, talked to their people in technical and say, "Can I get an update, please?" Because this is phones, and it proceeded to get 5 updates as soon as support up. So my philosophy here, my twisted mind here is, with that report that Juan was pointing out, with the unlocked phones, or like in case of Josh here going in and buying. I know it's an iPhone, but it's mostly the Achilles heel here is Android. If he went in and bought an Android phone, fulfilled his stupid 6 months, even though he's been with them for 20 million years, and yet being he paid for the phone, will the carrier proceed to go and service the phone? Because it seems like the updates really are get pushed through Google, the manufacturer, and then to the carrier. I know what you said, George, and I know that's always been that. I get what you're saying, and I don't disagree with it. I don't agree, but I don't disagree. Well, what I'm saying is they hold us hostage.
But you know what YouTube just reminded me of? Now, keep in mind, I was a programmer for 34 years. Now, when you went back to them and you got the 5 updates in a row, who was in charge of that? Programmers. I used to say on the job back in the 80s, I said, can you imagine if we all got together and decided to take over? There wouldn't be a damn thing to do about it. Programmers. And I think our latest election proved that I'm right, because that's where we're going. Programmers are taking over. There's not a thing the world can do to stop it. That's true. That is absolutely true. It's been true for years. It's certainly true now.
But do you see where I'm going with this, though? What's going to be like if you go and pay off that phone like Josh did? And are they going to really, will
You'll
they
be free? You will no longer need these over-the-air updates.
An unlocked phone from day one.
Understand that.
I get my updates because I wasn't locked to anybody in the first place.
Yeah.
So I think you're better off paying up front.
I understand that, but not everybody knows about this. Teddy, any comment?
On what?
On whether or not you're going to get updates from when you.
You mean like in the future where carrier phones are no longer? You mean phones where phones are no longer locked by carriers?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Like going again. Like if you wanted to buy. Sorry, Josh, you were there. I'm picking on you. Josh wanted that iPhone. Well, let's just say Josh wanted that Samsung Note 10, Note 20. Okay, he wanted it. He had $1,300 cash. He knew the only place they had it was at a Cricket store. He paid for it. He had them persevere for the 6 months, even though he was a customer for 20 million years. And then on 6 months, day one, he says, "Get me this phone to be unlocked so I can take it somewhere else if I care to." Now, is Josh going to get the next security patch, or does he have to go back and beg? Go back to Cricket and beg?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Because yes, I know you can do unlock phone, but in a case you should, not everybody knows to go to unlock. Nobody knows about unlock.
Yeah, one thing I'll guarantee you, especially with the government looking at these people all the time, much more lately, if they do make the carrier phones illegal and they all have to be unlocked, I guarantee you they're going to give you the updates because the government will make sure. Because as soon as they stop giving you updates because you have an unlocked phone, the politicians will jump right down their throat.
I don't know about that.
No, I guarantee it. Guarantee it.
Well, you're not on the payola.
Whenever tech comes into question, it's really like a wild
people are going to get flooded with
Anything is possible.
And as soon as they get flooded with complaints about it, you can bet they're going to pick up the phone and call AT&T or whoever and say, "You better get these updates out." They're going to have to give them.
Now, if the carrier is selling you an unlocked phone, wouldn't the manufacturer be in charge of the OTAs now?
Well, it's always been in the
true
together anyway.
True that way.
They absolutely the manufacturers are in charge at that point.
Like when I had the S20 Plus, the S20 Plus was from AT&T, but I had the S20 Plus also unlocked.
Right.
The unlocked version got the updates day one on the first whenever Samsung released it.
Me too.
Anywhere from three weeks to almost a month for AT&T to release their update for the same phone.
And that's another reason I don't like buying the carrier phones, because who knows when the carrier is going to get their program straight,
So Christian has a good question.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I just want to ask George real fast. The iPhone you got, and what was the last phone after that?
After the iPhone, I've only had 3 weeks.
And before the iPhone, you got the
Pixel 4a.
Okay, well, all right. So did the iPhone come from where? Well, that don't matter. An iPhone gets.
The iPhone I bought from Best Buy. No, I'm sorry. I bought it straight from Apple.
Straight from Apple. Okay. Yeah, what was your last carrier phone you bought?
It was a T-Mobile phone. That was about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago.
Oh wow. Okay. All right. Oh, never mind.
I haven't bought but 2 carrier phones in the last 5 years, maybe.
Your OnePlus phones, they came from OnePlus? or did you get the T-Mobile variant?
I bought it from OnePlus.
Did you?
No. The OnePlus 5E was the last T-Mobile phone that I had locked. The 6T I bought it unlocked.
Okay. All right. Never mind.
I think
Christian's question here is off-topic question for you guys. Would you buy an MVNO from Elon Musk's SpaceLink if they were ever to come?
I don't buy from MVNOs, period. So you can eliminate me right off the bat. I don't do anything
a
with
question
MVNOs.
that would be more fun is, if he had a phone that would be exclusive to his MVNO. What would a phone from Elon Musk look like? But no, I wouldn't pick it. I wouldn't pick his data set. If I need like data anywhere in the world, that's Google Fi though.
Once their network around the world is working, then I might consider it, just because I would consider it very unique.
It is a Google Fi offer, so I can just trust something more conventional.
As you can well tell, I don't always like being so conventional.
No. That's why prices are high to get everybody to get the everyday person stuck on a carrier and make those
I think that's part of the reason why they're considering making it illegal.
Think about it. Black Friday. You know how many phones that got purchased from? Well, perfect example. I mean, I know the reason why, but my brother was a perfect example. Adam bought the new Pixel 5.
Okay.
He got it because it was on a deal.
The $50 deal for Black Friday?
200.
Oh, the visible one.
No. Black Best Buy.
Yeah, I saw the ads for it too. Yeah, I saw an ad for it today, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. But how many people just Adam went on, boop, boop, hit a few buttons, and next thing you know, it was at his house the next day. How many people just said, I don't have time to shop around and look for it.
Yeah, see, Best Buy has gotten very good at next day. When I was in Florida, I got my phone the next day too.
So, Josh, you got anything you care to add?
Best Buy did have a good offer on the Note 20 Ultra for $890 open box.
Did they?
Oh.
The Note 20 Ultra, $890 open box.
Ultra one, huh?
Wow. And I'm sorry. What do you got now? Note 20 Ultra on yourself?
The Note 20 Ultra.
Gotcha.
Look at that. I'm tempted.
And that's let me tell you, open boxes, man. Open boxes is the way to go. The Best Buy and B&H probably are the best two right now. Daily Steals will come out with some stuff. So, all right. What's my next thing? Oh, here we go. Round robin question here. Phone of the year. What do you got? Ted.
I know it's unpopular, but I'll take the Microsoft Surface Duo.
Okay.
It's the most unique phone that's been put out all year, I think, easily. If it wasn't for that, I would make it a tie between.
Does that still have a SIM card in your pocket?
I took it out the day before yesterday. Right now, my SIM is in the Pixel 4a, the S20, and the iPhone 12 Pro. I only have 3 SIMs. So.
Hey, you get. By the way, they got a free line at T-Mobile, George.
Yeah, I passed on. I so far I've gotten 2 free lines from T-Mobile. I don't need any more.
Really?
I have 3 phone lines.
Good for you.
So
why not get a 4th one? What the heck?
What am I going to do with a 4th one? That's how I don't know about her.
Put it in that Microsoft phone.
Yeah. I know. I'm carrying 3 phones to work every day now. I'm not going to carry 4.
Hey, we got Tana so lit in the room. How you doing, man? Thank you.
Tana, what's up, brother?
What's up, Tana?
What's going on?
Yo. Okay, Ted, go ahead. Phone of the year. Hit me up.
Ted.
Oh, you said me. I thought you said John.
No. The other
like LG V60 with a double screen from Costco for $400. Yeah, that was the phone of the year.
That's something. Okay, the Costco one. All right, but overall, you think that V60? What is that? Is that this year's phone? I'm sorry. I'm not good.
Yeah, it was this year's.
Yeah,
it was this year.
I know that.
Early then. Was it out real early, like January, February?
Yeah, no, it came out in March.
February. Oh, I was thinking February.
February or March, yeah.
I think you're right. I think it was March.
But yeah, but sold by Costco 2 months ago for $400 with the dual screen case.
That was a
And
good deal.
And it supports 5G, so yeah, that's the phone of the year. People who say the Pixel 4a for $50 extra, you get a whole lot more with LG V60. So yeah.
Use 5G where you're at. You just said.
Yeah, but you never know 2 years from now.
But you're in Dallas and you don't have 5G. I'm in Chattanooga and I've got 5G. That's weird.
Nah, yeah, exactly. It's weird.
All right. Josh, what do you say? Phone of the year.
I mean, I would like to go with the Samsung, but I would also have to say the Pixel 4a. I mean, for $350, you get the updates and the camera. I mean, the only downplay was the plastic body, but for $350, I mean,
wait. Why is that a downfall for us?
I agree.
I mean, it's just because like me, like I always rock without a case, so whenever I put it in my pocket, it tends to scratch up the plastic. You get that plastic markings where it's constant rubbing up against either a key or.
You're rocking without a case, isn't having a plastic back better than having a glass back?
I mean, every glass. I had the Pixel 4a. I mean, I had the Pixel 4.
Keys don't scratch glass.
Yeah, I don't scratch glass. It rubs against the plastic and it'll leave those markings on the plastic. But I had the Pixel 4 and it had the glass back and it didn't no scratches, no anything on that.
It scratched your keys though, Pixel 4.
And I rocked
no, that was a Pixel 3. My bad. That's Pixel 3. Scratch your keys.
Christian has a comment really good here. It's funny how the best value for money phone is the Pixel 4a, and the worst value for the money is the Pixel 5, are both made by Google in the same damn year.
Why is the Pixel 5 the worst value?
I think the worst value, $700.
$700.
The only reason I would say that as the worst value is because of that at 765.
Oh, chip, yeah.
Really, you're another chip snob, huh?
Yeah. See, now that was the thing is with the that's the thing that drew me away and you got into Samsung was because I was always, even though I like the performance of like the Pixel 4 XL will outperform the Pixel 5.
Okay.
The Pixel 3 will perform the Pixel 5.
So 4A also, I don't.
But in all honesty, though, guys, some of the phones you just mentioned, would you really go and tell those people to go out and get this phone?
The 4A.
Yeah.
I'm with you on Josh. I'm with you on that.
Get the Surface Duo because you're going to spend at least $1,200, and unless you fall in love with the phone like me and a lot of the guys that bought it, it's probably not something you want to recommend to people.
So George,
with my LG V60 with the dual screen case, I can easily recommend it. If they're not feeling the dual screen case, they can just take it out and just use the V60 normally, which by itself is a great phone with 5,000 milliamp batteries.
Dual screens, though, if I were going to recommend one of the LGs, I would recommend the GS8 over the Velvet, just because of the price. Mm-hmm. Because the dual screen functionality is great on those, but they're just not as good as the Duo.
If you see the comments, everybody in the room mostly picked the 4A.
Yeah.
Canon went with the 12, yeah. which I agree. And I can't pick one phone. I can't.
Well, how's the 12? How's the 12 for the year?
If it wasn't for the Duo, it would be a tie between the 4A and the 12 Pro for me.
Wait a minute. Everybody seemed to forget about the SE phone. The iPhone SE.
Nah.
Yeah, maybe not. What?
Huh?
Why? Why?
Doesn't the 12 beat the? I think the 12 certainly beats the
I would think camera alone would knock out the SE.
Well, I'm talking value. I'm talking about
Well, yeah, but camera's part of your value. I mean,
if
you compare it with an iPhone 11 or iPhone 12.
This is taking good pictures. It can still take a good picture.
Okay.
It can still take good pictures.
Can your LG V60 take a good picture?
I think all the phones we mentioned can still take good
pictures.
The
LG V60 takes really good
It's got to do something more than just take good pictures. All the phones we mentioned take good pictures.
Well, there's a phone's going to last you easily 5 years.
Yeah, but will the battery last you 5 years?
No. Then
he had 4 years.
Well, we can say that we all have eclectic taste, but in all truthfulness, is if somebody is an Android person, 4A. If somebody is an iPhone person, the SE or the 12.
Or one of the 12s. You have a real
12.
assortment.
I'm always considering the price of it. How about the 12 mini? Is that would anybody put that in there?
Well, one of the guys I work with got one, and I held it in my hand. He loves it, but he told me up front that he had very simple taste. But that phone was so small in my hand, I said, "There's no way I could go back to something." I mean, it was as big as my hand, literally. I mean, I could hide that phone in my hand. That's how small it was. But I'm sure there are people who love it. I'm seeing articles already about people who love the mini.
Mm-hmm.
People who are a lot bigger than me.
I want to before the show's over, I want to just hit up everybody on some deals that that I've come across for Black Friday. But do we want to get this one article out?
Sure. I read through that too. Are you sharing it, or you want me to share?
I'm going to share it. I'm just trying. Okay. Will my audio work if I share it? Oh, sorry.
Yes, your audio will still work.
I jinxed myself. Where is?
And if it doesn't, you can, instead of sharing it, you can study it. Oh.
Where'd it go? Okay, there it is. Yay! All right, there we go.
Okay,
sharing. Who wants to read it? Where is that again?
Oh,
George. Whoa.
This is on Android Authority. Yep. Go
ahead. I'm sorry, you were breaking up there.
Okay. Here's a fun fact for 22 less than.
Something happening?
Oh, that was me for a second. Oh,
Josh, you there too?
Can't read it.
I'm here.
Okay. George? George?
Looks like I have to.
That's why.
Ted, you want to try this out?
No, it's not. The article is loading on my screen. It's.
All right.
Yeah, all right, let me take over.
Starting on. Here's the fact for you.
George,
you can't hear me?
You're like almost dead. You're breaking up.
All right. Well, somebody else take it then.
All right. Ted, please do. You got the.
Yeah, I got it. Here's a fun fact for you. Less than 0.22% of our traffic here at Android Authority came from a Nexus device in the last month. Of course, the point of this factoid is not that the Nexus devices are hard to come by in 2020. The last phone in the series, the Nexus 6P, came out in 2015, also known as the late Middle Ages of the mobile technology. However, Nexus devices still hold outsized mind share for our audience and Android enthusiasts in general. You can see this if you peruse comment sections and threads on Reddit and other dedicated online communities, especially when Google's Pixel line is discussed. The Nexus name still comes up in a way you don't see with devices of the same era, even vastly more popular ones like the Galaxy S series. In most cases, the sentiment is positive, raising question, was the Nexus series really that good? Or are we just looking at the products through rose-tinted glasses? A bigger question, is this attitude towards Nexus phones something that Google and other companies should think of when designing new products? The answer is complicated, mainly because the Nexus line is so complicated, spanning 14 devices across 3 product categories, 6 years of releases, 6 different manufacturers, 7 if you include Google, and 9 major OS versions. Nexus meant a lot of things to a lot of different people. Google's intentions for the Nexus series have been debated intensely, but everyone agrees that the product philosophy has morphed over the years. At different points in the program's life, Nexus meant prototype devices that served as trial balloons, the Nexus 1, road openers setting the direction for the Android ecosystem, Nexus 6P, earnest attempts to compete commercially Nexus 7, and sometimes products that Google and its partners put out without a clear reason, the Nexus 9. Prices fluctuated too, with the more affordable products like the Nexus 5 and the Nexus 7 proving perennially popular. I won't go into the history of the Nexus series or try to grade each product or the line as a whole. It will be calculating the average height of a roller coaster. You could do it technically, but it wouldn't tell you how much thrilling the ride is. For this reason, I think it's hard to declare that the Nexus devices were actually good or bad. They were just too diverse. They had bright spots, a fair share of issues, including disappointing cameras, hardware defects, and a general failure to keep up with broad industry trends. So why do Android enthusiasts seem to remember the good sides of Nexus products more often than not? If you had a Nexus, you signal to the world and to yourself that you're different. From one Nexus,
I like that little snicker. Yeah, okay.
For one, Nexus users were on average the true Android believers, and that stays true to this day. People commenting on Android authority or frequenting our Android are more likely to be fans that have been on the platform for many years. Nexus products are mentioned more often simply because the people mentioning them happen to be former Nexus users. My personal explanation of Nexus nostalgia has to do with psychology. People tend to hold on to good memories for longer. Psychologists have been studying this phenomenon called fading effect bias for almost a century. We tend to forget bad things sooner or more accurately to remember the things that made us feel good for longer. It's a coping mechanism.
I wasn't going to just back down from mine.
Obviously, he's never been married.
I want to see how this works for 2020 then. It sounds materialistic, but purchases can make you feel good about yourself. That's true. Especially phones, which we use daily and are highly personal products. There's been serious research done on the correlation between personality type and smartphone choices. I'm going to go right-click on that. Put simply, buying a certain phone or a certain brand says something about you. It could weigh in on your sense of self-worth. That's a shame. Buying a Nexus device meant more than buying a phone. When you got a Nexus, you became part of a community. Everyone had an iPhone or a Samsung. If you had a Nexus, you signal to the world and to yourself that you're different. We all like to think of ourselves as special. I think the biggest explanation why we remember the Nexus so fondly. Personally, I have my own rosy memories of a Nexus device. I really love the Nexus 5. I don't know why. That phone came out, it was trash.
A lot of people did.
It was the perfect size. It was practical. It was smooth and was fast. It took a year for it to be that good, though. Also, it made me feel like one of the cool kids. They had plenty of issues, especially with the camera and battery, but I don't remember them that well, to be honest. Fading effect bias? Well, no, definitely fading effect bias. But also, they fixed the phone. Going back to my question earlier, what should companies take from this? In my opinion, community building is different. Differentiation is important, and addressing the hardcore is important. I don't know what he means by addressing the hardcore. Addressing hardcore users, or I don't know. It's why OnePlus have become the de facto enthusiast phones. Though rising prices could change that, it did, and also releasing multiple phones. It's why Xiaomi is investing so much energy into its ecosystem. Why can Google sell 7.1 million Pixel units despite its apparent determination to self-sabotage?
Yeah.
And why Apple can basically re-release a phone and still find plenty of buyers?
Well,
what say you? Were Nexus products so good to merit constant throwbacks?
It occurs to me that most of that article kind of backs up a lot of what Will says. I mean, I thought it did. And I almost disagreed with the purchases can make you feel good about yourself, because there's very few things that can make me put up on myself. Then I thought about how I feel whenever I ride my motorcycle. So he was right about that.
Was riding the motorcycle, or is it the motorcycle?
No, it's riding the motorcycle, because I've had
there you go.
I've had 5 motorcycles over the years, and it's the riding. If unless you're a rider, you don't understand. We all know that. But riding a motorcycle makes you feel good.
It's what started it all right here. This is what started it all.
Which one is it?
I'll never get, huh?
It's a Nexus 5.
Yes, it is. With the
That's
break
good.
That's what started it all.
But for me, it started. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the Nexus 5 and the Nexus 7. So,
Ooh, don't let your wife hear that.
what? All right.
Now, I would still have my Nexus 6, except I did give it to Rita.
So that's a 6P.
So that's what I gave Rita.
And what do you got there? Another 6P?
No, this is the 6P in a case.
Oh, okay.
2 6Ps, wow.
No, it's the Cruiser Light case.
That's a neat case. Where'd you get that case from?
The Cruiser Light case.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't heard that one in a while, that name. Yeah, Cruiser, yeah. So is that the only Nexus phone you have left?
Yeah, this is the last Nexus phone that I got. It ended up going into that boot loop, but being that I do what I do,
I never had that problem with the 6P. Mine always worked fine.
Yeah.
Oh no, I did start having it. Well, after Rita got it, it did start having the battery issues sometimes.
Yeah, the battery died like prematurely, and it would just turn off at like 30% or something like that.
That's right.
Take care, man.
Hey, I clicked on that link. What your choice of smartphone says about you from Science Daily.
Okay.
Apparently, between Android and iPhone users, iPhone users are more likely to be younger, more than twice as likely to be women, more likely to see their phone as a status object, more extroverted, less concerned about owning devices favored by most people. And now, in contrast, Android users are most likely to be male, older, more honest, more agreeable, less likely to break rules for personal gain, and less interested in wealth and style. Holy shit, this is terrified of Apple people. What the
sounds like half the articles.
Yeah.
It sounds like a foot down there.
Yeah. That's right.
I got him.
So as an iPhone user at 75, I'm young. Is that it? Okay.
All right.
No.
It's almost that time. I hate to, but I wanted to throw some phones by you.
Gary, he got the callback comment.
What's that? What makes me feel good is
the $40
40-hour woman we spoke about earlier.
Okay. Yeah, that's not the one I want to touch at all. But of course, I was that weird guy who sang in rock bands that didn't like groupies coming anywhere near me, so you don't want to go by me.
So I want to run by you some deals that are very tempting, and you're actually all of you and everybody in the comments too, or leave comment at the bottom. By the way, thumb up this today's stream, share, like, comment at the bottom. If you got any more comments, please leave them at the bottom. And also, before we leave, I want to make sure Ted and George and Josh all share whatever, however people want to at the end here. But my question is what some of the temptations are right now. Google has, I
was thinking the same thing.
I knew as soon as I said it, like, I can't get that back. Google is having a deal right now. If I was to, here it is, trade this in, I get $300 to trade this in for Pixel 4a. This is the Pixel 3. Yeah, you heard me. You heard me, Ted. Yes. Listen to me one more time. The trade-in values for a bunch of Pixels, trade-in values are ridiculous right now. You can get for this $300. So I can get a 4A for from
150
for $100.
No, for $50.
100, yeah. You're gonna get
it for $50. You can trade in the Pixel 3 for $300.
4A 5G. 4A 5G is $499. So take $300 away from that.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the 4A.
No,
just the 4A. Get it for $50.
4A 5G. Okay. Now,
if I were you, Mike, I would take that deal.
Okay. Well, wait a minute. Oh, there's more. OnePlus 8 Pro, they're having a deal for $799, the top tier one, 12 gigs of RAM, 256 storage, and they throwing in a OnePlus 7T for $1.
Okay, well, that's a pretty good deal with the 7T. For me, I still have my 7 Pro. I don't think to me, they haven't topped it.
Well, I'm asking for I'm like, see, I'm a little bit of a chip snob too. A little bit. I admit. I call Josh a chip snob. Sorry, but I'm just saying because FE was a really tempting deal. You know, tempting because I could trade in the phone and would have gotten for like $450.
And by the way, if I had the phone, I would have said the FE was the phone of the year.
What's this again?
I said, if I had the phone, I would have said the FE was the phone of the year because the FE was the phone of the year.
No, Gary, I'm not doing it on the stream. We want to go home. Okay, Josh. There was one time I was trying to decide if I want to get the Pixel 3, 3A or something like that. I think it took the whole 2 hours to try to order the phone while I was doing the stream.
Yeah, we did. That was one of
we don't have another 2 hours. Sorry, Gary. So those two deals, among other ones, but they're the ones that really stick out in my mind.
The 8 with the 7T thrown in, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, 2 phones for like, I mean, yeah, you really can't beat that.
Yeah, that's a tough deal to beat, man.
I mean, the 8 Plus seems like a really beast of a phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that 120 hertz at 1440.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Josh, I'm just asking you. You went for the Samsung because of the camera.
The camera, the camera, the 120 hertz, the bigger screen. Now because of the Note, the S Pen. The higher megapixels in the camera is what really does it. I mean,
yeah, the camera's no good in I don't want to say no good, but the OnePlus camera's never really been.
Yeah, gonna come close.
Right.
Put a Gcam. I've seen some Gcam pictures on a OnePlus 8 Pro, and it's pretty good.
And the only problem with that is you get good Gcams, you get bad Gcams, and like on the Mi 3, I had great Gcam. Well, became unavailable from XDA like 2 months after I got it, and everybody always asked me, and you can't get it anymore.
Yeah.
Wow.
I have to look at. There's on Telegram. There's a community for Gcam ports for specific devices.
Okay.
So I have to look to see if they have some for the 8 Pro or.
I always went to XDA. Mike, that does sound like a hard deal to beat, and he's right. If you got a good Gcam, I would go for that.
Right.
Yeah.
I got an hour and about 56 minutes to decide because the sales.
Make up your mind.
I know. Oh, I didn't see that was the other thing. I was trying to keep it cheap. I was trying to go cheap.
Well, if you are thinking about somebody else to give that T phone to me that makes more sense. But if it were me alone, I would probably go for a 5G.
Okay.
I'll go with OnePlus.
Okay.
You go with OnePlus.
All right, Josh, you get the deciding vote here.
Man, I was like, yeah, this is a tough one because the 4A 5G going to get good battery, good camera. I mean,
updates like crazy.
and the updates, of course. It's a solid phone with the modern build of the 5A. I mean, of the 5 in a 4A package. You know, a little bit cheaper price.
It's a bigger phone. It's essentially what would have been the 5 XL.
Yeah,
around that way.
I don't know about it being a 5. It's a little bit bigger than a 5.
Anyway, I think that's the best phone of the.
And the battery on it. I mean, I've heard people getting like 7-8 hours screen on time with battery.
I mean, 2 phones cannot last a long-lasting battery.
That is true. That is true.
If you can use 2 phones, I'll use 2 phones in a day.
You're using 4 phones right now.
I would wind up taking the 17 and just flipping it.
You carry 3 phones to work with you, or is that 4, George?
Cash that way, so.
Remember, I don't use any screen protectors, so all my phones have to go in a pocket by themselves, and they always do.
Yeah, I'm surprised. And Josh, you run you run your phones naked. I didn't want to say you run naked because I see a shirt on anyway. So you don't no case, no screen protector, huh?
I'm using it on the Note right now, but when I had my Pixel and the OnePlus, it was just like that. I mean, the phones just look so good that you really don't want to hide the look of it.
I have to have a case, but I hate screen protectors.
So you have a case then, Josh?
I have a case now on my Note.
And screen protector or no?
I use the little TPU screen protector.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, because with the Notes, it's kind of hard with that ultrasonic fingerprint sensor. I use the tempered liquid glass, and it doesn't recognize the fingerprint sensor.
Yeah, that's a good point. I keep forgetting to use an ultrasonic one, not an optical.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just have I have the what's it called on the iPhone? Still the Flow Lab one, which my review is still getting comments on. But from my the LG phone, it's the first time I haven't really like gotten a screen protector on that one. Haven't bothered.
Oh, before we go, I have a shocking admission.
Oh,
this is totally personal. Josh, you should know I'm at 75. I'm probably in the best shape of my whole life. I'm a real exercise nut. I exercise 6 days a week because I don't have time when I work and come here on Fridays. I had my checkup this week. Came back almost as perfect as usual, except I found out you can have a physical problem if you exercise too much. And from last December until August, I did have that physical problem. Didn't stop me from exercising, which you well know. But just one thing you know, I'll probably be cutting back from 6 days a week to 5 days a week.
Oh my goodness, he's going to definitely put the 7 pounds back on.
I'll still ride 17 or 18 miles.
All right. Well, you got to take care of yourself, George. That's all. You know what I mean? You can't overdo it. That would be
the only way in the world you'd get me to go less on exercise, but I'm still going to do at least 5 days a week. So just wanted, I know for me that's a shocker.
Well, that's going to wrap it up with that one. Let me take it from. I'm going to take it from Ted in the same order here. What I see here on the screen: Ted, George, and Josh. Yeah. So, Ted, plug yourself.
What? Excuse you, sir. This is a family show. What?
God.
Tell them about your Tuesday show.
Tell them about your YouTube channel, where they can find you on the socials.
In your live show.
I don't feel like it. But happy holidays. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving and were well fed. And, stay safe, stay masked, and we'll catch you on the next Friday show on Georgia's channel.
Yeah, be on my channel. Yeah,
okay.
And I'm Mobile Geezer. Next Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be on the Mobile Geezer channel. And, of course, you see all my pictures on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And almost every day I post something about some kind of exercise, trying to encourage other people that I'm not in this shape, because I'm Mr. Wonderful. I'm just in this shape because I work really hard at it. So anybody else can do the same thing. Okay, Josh.
All right, Josh. What you got?
I would like to thank y'all for having me on the stream. So it's my first stream.
Oh,
very first stream I've ever been on.
Really well.
Oh, welcome.
Yeah, so thank you.
We were his first, guys. Welcome.
So it was a good stream. Lots of fun here.
Good.
All right. Well, you're up for coming back again?
Oh, of course.
Right,
anytime.
We'll be talking. So.
All right. Cool.
All right. Again, I'm Mike Dixon. This is Judge for Tech, and next time I come back on doing the stream, I will have. I thought I had it all worked out. I didn't.
You did a pretty good job.
Yeah, you picked it up kind of quickly there, Mike.
Yeah, well, I'm part, so I have audio and poor Josh over here. We're going to Josh. You and I are going to do a stream together one day, real soon, to get all the bugs worked out. That's what
that
sounds good.
So and like I say, I still owe you a roll tape, so you can tape that mic up. Anyway, thank you for everybody coming by. The same sentiments that Ted said: mask up, stay safe. George, take it easy.
What I always say: everybody have a blessed weekend.
Yeah, and Josh, keep on modding. All right, I'm going to say in a count of 3, 2, 1.